but I think our ideas are the same, and we'll all work together to lay the foundation so that the next generation eventually can take it up and continue.
Your Excellency, we are prepared to provide all the support that is required for you to be able to.
I proceed to adjourn the sittings of this meeting till 2nd of January 2025.
Abushia mamu akwaba ebiom emra jumadie. So finally Alan Kwadwo Chematin and afi President-elect John Dramani Mahama wamashia ama nkomodie akoso na no achi no ensema ifreche banesawani ensesame ena mekacho Alan any President-elect John Dramani Mahama eshia no edien ena ekoso yede munsem nyina eba eno achi na wo se finance minister ekopiem ewo parliament na odi mini budget no ekokoto dwa nanso wantimi ankwankopiem eno achi NDC amanekuo no wamubo fu papa amano so no ensem bebre ene fimu eba fi onso so a yebebora electoral commission onim se NDC amanekuo no amokopiemu ewo high court na high court e the ruling aba bonten e the ensem bebre aba tudwa eno so NDC amanekuo no ensem bebre efio eba na okoje to ablakwa and afi the lives of COP Kofi Boakye retired onim se oral team no omo ene down na omo kwere hwehwemu bi a leak information bi ama baby ade na dunia busia e ho so ano ayedin pa baransa na no yenko na afi commander yenko hwe Alan Kwadwo Chematin
okay
and afi no President-elect
John
Dramani Mahama
when obisi meeting of the year
nze ejana chino amanfo din komo bebre
of course before can sempa na nkomo wachire wo
nkomo de wachire
nkomo wachire papa
wenu na amanfo hwe ni mu
of course na ni pa bebre di nkomo pa nti eba say you know ama amanfo mora ekosro
amanfo say Alan Kwadwo Chematin any President-elect John Dramani Mahama enka omunye alliance na Alan ideas no onfanka President-elect na omunfanya djuma
very interesting and I want to say there am me enjoy cry me say obi aba enjoy how wo me no obi a communicate no
okay
omu di nko say we kasa onyabotre eyi ne nse no wanwa ma wote ase yie ofoforo nso kasa ono so nyabotre yi ne nse no ma wote de opeso kire ase yie na say omu ye alliance a very interesting na obi nso be kase so omu ye alliance dia obi dwa ewuo no na obi nkwama yehwam
na hwamu no mu nkwam behwam no
NDC fo nkwam behwam
na MPP fo nkwam so
omu dwan bewu
okay quick one yenya botre kitua bi yehwam na na ba enkomo wachi pa
Your Excellency, I'm here this afternoon together with my team first to congratulate you and to commend you for your emphatic victory in the just ended general elections. It is clear from the results that you put in a lot of effort and you've been handsomely rewarded in that regard. I'm sure many Ghanaians are not aware that although we belong to different political persuasions, that we've had very good fraternal relations for many years based on mutual respect and shared common values, and indeed also our commitment to serve our nation in humility. I am aware that you've already had the opportunity and privilege of occupying the high office of President of our country, and so you are already keenly aware of the demands of this job. However, as a brother, maybe I should use this opportunity to offer a little bit of advice. Your Excellency, I'm sure you're all aware that our country has been seriously divided for many years because of partisanship. And unfortunately, this is robbing all of us of the benefits of our democratic credentials, which we've nurtured over so many years. And I think this ought to change. Secondly, this whole winner takes all syndrome, which has been associated with partisanship, I think is also not helping our country. Because we don't have the benefit of harvesting and mobilizing the collective talents of all Ghanaians. And we should not be divided in that regard by our different political ideologies. I think that also needs to change. Thirdly, also, the lack of continuity of government projects, which again is a result of this partisanship, has also cost our nation quite a bit of money. And I think that also has to change. So I would really like, very respectfully, you to consider this whole development paradigm of how you build a government of national unity, which obviously then means that you bring together people from different political persuasions, big and small, people from other stakeholder groupings, because I think they also represent, indeed, in fact, they represent the majority of the people. So they must have a voice also in government. So that's in respect of the first pillar. The second one is the Great Transformational Plan. Your Excellency, I know that during your first term in office, you had to go to the IMF for support. Now, there's a marginal increase or a stability that comes along with being on an IMF program. So ultimately, you find that the numbers will start looking good. It's obvious that's part of the whole objective of a stabilization program. But then, at the end of the program, unless there's a program of transformation, then you are likely to slide back into instability, which is what takes you to the IMF in the first place. And so, with a Great Transformational Plan, I very respectfully like to recommend a number of priorities for your consideration, which is stabilizing the macroeconomy. I know that because of our manifesto promises, there's a lot of pressure. Everything is important, but I feel that it's the macroeconomy and the economy as a whole that basically must occupy your highest consideration. Along with this, also, I would say a prioritization of the productive sectors of our economy: industry, agriculture, and then tourism. Because that speaks to the next most critical agenda for our nation, which is creating employment, particularly for the youth. Now, beyond this, also, I think, is the issue of corruption, which you've spoken about, and which robs us as a country of so much resources that we can channel into development. The next is constitutional reform. Constitutional reform that would enhance the quality of governance in our country. And I'm sure you're already aware of many of those areas that require reform. And last but not least is the issue of guarantee, which obviously is an existential threat. And within the context of a government of national unity, we are prepared to provide all the support that is required for you to be able to implement both the agenda for transformation and also the government of national unity. Your Excellency, in conclusion, I think the greatest legacy you can leave for our country is to help build a peaceful, united, prosperous country which provides equal opportunity to all Ghanaians, irrespective of their political affiliation, ethnic or religious affiliation. We wish you very well together with your team.
Thank you.
And I think on that regard, I'd like to make a presentation of the Great Transformational Plan to you. Yes.
Thank you. Welcome you, and to say how much I appreciate this visit, to physically express what you had already done by phone. We spoke on the phone and you extended your congratulations, but I think this follow-up with members of your team is significant, and we appreciate it very much. We know that there have been some issues that led to your leaving the party, and there have been other things that have occurred over the years. I think that sometimes disruption is a good thing because then it allows a new beginning. And so I think that all the strands that belong to that tradition, should find a way of putting the pieces together, reconciling, and seeing how the party can be rebuilt so that it continues to be a viable vehicle for sustaining our democracy. I'm happy you've spoken about the issues to do with the challenges of our democracy, and they are all too obvious. You mentioned the winner takes all, and we have a system where certain vulnerable groups are not as well represented in our political system as they should be. And so it's something that we need to look at. Luckily, we have the opportunity to look at the whole 1992 Constitution again. It's been crying for a review, and I remember Professor Mills made quite some movement towards it. I tried to continue, but I hit a stumbling block when somebody took us to court. By the time the issue was resolved, we went into an election year. It was not conducive to continue. So we decided to leave it to the next government. I'm aware that President Akuffo government had a committee working on something. Chairman Sabusu's committee, there's a report or something. We want to take all this, including the constitutional review report, which was chaired by Professor Fiajo and his team, and then the work of the Constitutional Review Implementation Committee, including the white paper and whatever the Chairman Sabusu committee worked on. We want to see if we can bring all this together, synthesize it, and do a national constitutional review validation conference and look at how us together, all stakeholders in this country, represented chiefs, professional groups, everybody, and then we look at what is relevant and what we did not even anticipate. At the time we did a constitutional review, we didn't realize that a time will come where there will be an impasse between the Supreme Court and Parliament about vacancy of seats and all that. But these are things that come with practice of the Constitution. And so I believe that if we do this, then it will give us the opportunity to go even beyond and be able to do some amendments to the Constitution that would help take away this winner-takes-all thing. It will bring some more checks and balances into the situation so that the president is not the all-powerful kind of position that makes decisions of life and death, for our people. And that we'll be able to identify other things, including issues like the election of district chief executives, to make them more accountable to the people at the grassroots level. How do we deepen our decentralization and all that? So those would create opportunities for us, and I'm looking anxiously to us being able to do it, and on a bipartisan basis, and as a nation, we're able to do the amendments to our Constitution that will make it a more living document going forward. With regards to the Great Transformation Plan, I think that it falls almost in line with our reset agenda, because after several years we think that there must be a reset, and that is equal to talking about transforming the way things have been done. Because like we said, we'll go through the program, macroeconomic stability is restored, the CD is fairly stabilized, but that is superficial. At the bottom of it is the transformations that we need to do in order that stability is sustainable. And that is what we've not been able to achieve. The last time I was looking at a map showing the imports that we make into this country. I'm sure it was on social media, everybody saw it. And hundreds of millions of dollars every year just go to create employment for other people. In the area of tomatoes, take tomatoes. I don't know how true it is, but I can't believe that we're eating $1 billion of imported tin tomatoes. It's not possible. We need to interrogate those figures, but whatever it is, I know that a huge amount is going into importation of tomatoes, something that we have a comparative advantage to produce, into rice, into vegetable cooking oil, into many things that, if we put our mind to it, we can produce. And that's why, for me, agriculture and agribusiness, agro-processing is going to be one of the number one focuses. We pay lip service to giving support to farmers. We bring subsidized fertilizer, half of which gets smuggled to our neighboring countries anyway. And the real farmers who need the fertilizer don't get it. And so how do we use a system that identifies them and makes sure that if government is targeting them with subsidies or with any assistance, it goes to those who are actually the farmers and not to political party apparatchiki. So those are some of the things we need to look at, and that's why we're thinking of farmer service centers that have a catchment area that registers all the farmers, measures their farms, know what they're growing, And at the beginning of every farming season, if government has any support for them, we have mechanization services, tractors, fertilizer, all the agrochemicals that they need. And they just go to their farmers service center. They are registered there. We know their farmers. We know the acreages that they produce. And then they're able to get the support that they need. But over the years, we've left the value chain. Once the farmer produces, he is on his own. I know because I'm a farmer myself. Last year, my soya bean, people just came and told me how much they will buy it for, and it was not worth my while, because then, even though I broke even, it didn't give an incentive for me to be able to continue farming. And so I can imagine that for me, who is probably a medium-sized commercial farmer, one of the small-scale farmers. And so how we tie down the agribusiness and agro-processing, and so that we're adding value to the crops that the farmers are producing, is something that we need to look at. And that falls in line with industrialization. As you have said, you have been in that ministry before, trade and industry. So you know that we need as much as possible to industrialize, to create opportunities for our young people. And so as quickly as possible, we must turn things around and bring Ghana back as the favorite destination for investment. And as I said the last time, this is our last opportunity to get things right. If we don't get a handle on it, our people are losing faith in our democratic institutions. And so we need to work to restore their faith and let them know that a democratic system is capable of doing the things that will ensure transparency, fairness, and create equal opportunity for all our people. And we're open to working together on all these issues. Unemployment, we know the issue of Galamsey. It's a hydra-headed problem. Like I said, Galamsey is a hydra-headed problem. We'll do our best to work at it. The issue of Galamsey is just a crisis of implementation and regulation. The agencies that have been put to regulate and implement are not able to carry out their duties. And apart from that, the political hierarchy is involved in the illegal small-scale mining, and that's why government does not have the political will to deal with it. And so we hope that we'll create a new environment where we're able to deal with illegal small-scale mining and the destruction of the environment. We are open to ideas from everywhere. I've always been a person who believes that all the sense is not in my head, and as much as possible I try to learn from other people, and I know that a lot of thought went into this document. So we'll look at it, we'll borrow from it, we'll steal from it, we'll copy from it. Whatever is positive here, we're going to take and add to the research agenda, and you can be sure that we'll give you credit for whatever we've taken out of it. But I think our ideas are the same, and so we have an open door. As you said, you and I have known each other for a very long time, and your name is quite resounding in Ghanaian politics. You're a stalwart of Ghanaian politics. I don't think that your political career is over. I'm sure there's still a lot more you can contribute to your nation. And we'll all work together. This is my swan song, my final term. And we'll work together to lay the foundation so that the next generation eventually can take it up and continue. So I thank you once again for this cordial visit. And
okay, Commander.
Yeah, Director.
Minim say ensam no doso, but I said the mining nyina pe no.
Yeah.
Ena abam we be kan say ni padodo na.
Yeah.
Who say na ebi mo ka say President elect John Dramani Mahama.
Of course.
Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen. Ena obi ti say Hobson die. Enka omo madwuma nye. Ena bi mo se cheda. Ebi mo se cheda o include no.
Yeah. Now the most interesting thing is say obia e wo nipa a opese President-elect John Dramani Mahama emfanin kana by. But a deep back common on Crofano, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, and hopefully hopes na doye. Now finally, meeting at the American is a meeting where one of the biggest meetings and man for channel. One of it any. But the most interesting thing is that I didn't for trendia now Crofo pe. But I came address as Sembiso. At the time Hobsadoye campaign, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen or platform be also a small can say Ghana Nibia Mompai say aban besisa. Na aban sisa. Omobe ko ajo minus ho. The meaning say na movement for change. Alan in crop for the is wo mutirim say aban o man wene mpo a omobe ye omo part na aban ye ba wene no. Omone no aka bom ayedwuma.
Do you know what you say? And some na man for kase NDC for ekoto Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen no nkrofo no edi ayampa na
Well, nkrofo nsem na omoka no ma me answer question say da bi obi abeti ase yi at the time Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen share say oye the campaign no and o share say o kan nsem say ope alliance government ope aban a eye parties ahodo we nipa mtwa we ni mpo a or the MPP NDC MPs and ebeye adwuma obe pick nkrofo from different political parties in this case Salan awene na NDC awene na say or the plans akwa NDC was say NDC say na me plans tie into his excellency president elect Jeme plans na me no ni nkomo hwe say eba boa faka wo de no man na yeye because me ka say me we ni a me twen nkrofo abeka me ho into say ma awene na wa we ni a eni ade na say me your man be pade a me fa me ho mebo
we a chere say Alan oyini papa
asem ni nyina no
enti MPP for na enhunu yusu ye anase de
enye yusu no man hunu yusu o eye amanfo bi na ye abro
okay
ene top party for ni nyina trim se o Alan de ne ba eboa eye abro bi na nkrofo she da ye
on say bibi ti say one district one factory on say Alan say project ayi bebre wo ho a ono na de ba ye but then it seems say MPP for no Akuffo Addo hu say Alan na de ba ye nti oman shada amfo mani anko
dabi
because wo do mani ko ho a ebe promote Alan
mo nti hwade the Bialan kasa asem no it's like among one say a joke but for no first example now second example be say ne nsem obeka say former president Akuffo ankasa kan ye e wa abonte say 70% of the policies e Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen de ma no ye nim kra no ye nim Friday way out in any ade for no to nchen Oko his excellency president elect John Dramani Mahama ho no wakwa kan den nsema niema osusu se ye de ka ho ebu oman na oman ne be yie niema ebema oman ne etuma gina
mi hu bi da o
nti ahabema hu se oye obi a oman na wo penti everywhere
onye pese me nkuminya
sa point na me pese mi
se oman ne be yie ne hia no
Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen epese oman ne be yie enti okasa no in a humble way okasa president aye no John Dramani Mahama ho a hwekwa fa so kasa o ka me pa cho nyina se e para chew nti sanipa wi yem fa nsem bi ntoto nsem ho na yenye first analysis of this situation na yenhwe Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen ne personality ani mrade owo fom
na amanfo se eye clear se na Alan epese MPP lusu eye abro e na Alan ediye bara mso mo dwene se eye abro na Alan ediye na o se okase oye adwuma se be ya MPP be lusu a MPP na nkasa no se all the policies bebre ema wo mo enti ne abana all the ne transformational plan e koma NDC for se wo mo fanya adwuma adenti na nipa bi be kase e abro na Alan edi se MPP e be lusu
se e abro na Alan edia mpanifo se osuma brewa wie bebi obeto de fa ho ben nti kala ni di abro a se MPP na no pe solution keka ya to ba wie ya MPP solution kala no wie na dwuma ko pe ne ba bia tena anka on sign say the time because Alan a lot of businesses nti ko nse na daje ensa nko mampeni ya to ba yi no ho emfa nsa nko to nse yem nsre ne say we need to do this yenye we no man nya ye nti e kire wo say this is somebody ampa or committed say obey adwuma mo man no na MPP de ne de metima na ha kan play nya play mfa say yem fa sa issue no to be say Alan pese o say MPP MPP anka so say Alan yes or no assembly nyina no MPP for na bi say Alan and aside that say obi se on tumi no wonante a ehun hia so ne benam Alan as individual oko join ni kuo eduru ba bo hunu say kuo no on tumi ni kuo ni nante bi wa free kuo no but o mine na ye and he feels our idea but wanya mampani no nti wanya dia idea ne mo
no yen hwa de Alan de ne transformational plan or de nani so ade hunu ni bi akoma president elect John Dramani Mahama uni se sa dwumadie we no bibi pa betime free mu aba
wo uni ma de ba ko ade ba ko me ho a e very clear ana ma dwen kire me say president John Dramani Mahama say eye na komam na opa on include Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen say ohwe no na koma ne bodwoso a on include no enie president ya to abama no John Dramani Mahama the first time obedi ade ne kire say ohwe kwa no fa senima he wants to build a nation from projects nti yensisi hospitals yensisi schools Alan Kojo Chamati with different plan Alan Kojo Chamati plan nyina is about industrialization marketing nti e kire say economy na ya ne ka say ahokyere abakrom kakra enema nkoso no Alan Kojo Chamati knows a lot about that nti wo field na wo ye master wo no obi so field bi a obo ne homoden nti you pick ideas from Momodian. Ebi mpoa na ade kitwa bi na ode beba beka ho but it will change certain things. Nti e kire say Alan a master on different field. And our President John Dramani Mahama so oye master of field foforo. Meaning say this is from penny be brain so obia a master in a certain field. But assembly nyina ne say Alan a kire clearly say eba no industrialization yenkofa nkrofo mra wo man nim yenfa different companies omo ma hihye niema omo ma ye adwo omo ma bia nwuma yen create jobs connection
and e say so the oman ni nyina esu eye jobs
nti wini ma de ba ko John Dramani Mahama ka say oba bedi ma pani jobs na opese ye create no oman no cannot create jobs say public sector aban say bebe say me fa enipa 100,000 adwuma nti chinchina yemfa bi nkosha no aban ni timi nyasa but the aban ni betima ye nyina say jobs no ebe fa private sector nti private sectors no na ye ni o maka ne ya momo what they need na o metima bi o nsem and Alan Kojo Chamati said ye nyina ye nim no e ye ne side no privatization nti or that idea ne dia o betima communicate with different companies said ye automobile for no di bi ba ha no the different companies aba e your mind na ye chekere because minim say mpanifo bi wo ma o metimi aye adwuma no voluntary say me ya ma o mind keke and very good me mani age and I think say inye hopes in any Alan Nkwawo every individual a hopes in the na
ya obi aba benefit
assembly nyina no
obi a ye mo mpa
every individual
ma hopes so mo mpa bi mfa ne hye wabre
hopes in the
even hopes adwuma wa ye no NDC fo ni bi anya adwuma sa
wa ye adwuma chen NDC fo na bi
no kre
e wom se NDC party na aye adwuma kese but obetwa kase hopes in so adwuma wa ye ebro individuals so yi ankra ebro ebi so so de so obi a won the party wa play but assembly nyina ne say after that way forward in any day away from that na fe yenim komo
answer parliament esa manfo aso adin
ade ne dia ayere papa
na finance minister on person obekoya
well ensem ye no pew first one ne say
yenwura mprekwana
yenwura mprekwana well obehwa recently parliament ekwa setena after say ye beto abanimu abambabin etu sitting share say ya to abawia on the 16th of December yen ko sitting e wo parliament no ya ko sitting ba ko mienu miensa ya kwa na amanfo ohwa animu say after election ye kwa mini budget for the first quarter of 2025 no ebekwa ko to do parliament na fi ya bobo ho na bobo ni wia na ya approve say de be ya ban na obeba no in the first quarter of the first year no obetumi aye na dwuma e wo se oye
as from January to March
mo eti eba sa no obi a hwa anim say finance minister ebetuma kwa kopie mo parliament na omo hwa nanim first day wanko the next day omo hwa nanim wanko the third time omo sa hwa nanim no finance minister ansa nko biem
aso adin
papa na so adin
ohwa NDC for no mafia wo mo nti omo so beso omo mafia NDC for no etika
asem ne de ni nyina no bebi ade ni gina nyina no
asem
enti mafia game ya ekoso ya yi no ena akwakoba sesesei parliament omo onwuma bebra ka oso omo ye especially some mini budget no ai the main issue da ho a omo bobo ho bia but emaka enti mpanifo ne tena ase a anya yi no na wo so omo find ways and means no omo kono omo sa ba biem eno enenam so ma abambabin edi tu dwampo parliament say the ade akwa no so omo tu sitin no e hye bronya chi
second
mo nti on the 2nd of January and a parliament ebesan a resume sitting now on the 2nd of January do omo kwa na say amaka na je say omo wia na say because omo prepare for the next parliament now the most interesting thing is say na man for bebre din komo say ebasa a lot of effects ebeba na nsem bi so si wo parliament ho but me pese ye din komo kitwa bi on effect any way forward no na fia say wura nsem na akadim na wasem ni nyina ne say public sector no omo demand sika e dey free aban ho from aban coffers and omo didi because omo ye adwuma ma aban nti obi a oye aban adwuma eni a ne sika fa controller no awo se ye budget na budget no ye di sika awo se e controller ho ne ko from the budget and sign a controller etmetua aban adwuma e foka nti na e kire se on the 7th of January Mampani John Dramani Mahama obekwa akosai se okosai a 7 January no oni appointee bia nti afei ni oba beyi nkrofo nti na kire se finance minister ni ho nti afei e na omo ba beyi finance minister ni dade but the interesting part ne say
esa niema be delay
nti in the first month no wan hwa ahokeka ne ankosoro pa dia akatua na nkasa no entimi ma at the right time na eno achi no the most ade a amanfo nyina ehwe nim se hwan ena obetima ya ma ade na contem now on that the only way e wo ne say head of the economic team be madam ono na ye her excellency Jena no Pokwajima as vice president oba present a mini budget after say share mu in on the 7th of January no from the next day ko o wa kwanya say obetimi e the mini budget akọ na omo akọ approve wi a bibia be fine na sansem na chi ena parliament ho emse mabo ho
but na manfo so kase se we nyina no e bia efi NDC for because time na every before to say yanko parliamento adwuma bi o se yakoye o na speaker of parliament o se da bi time opebia na obebia de no na amanfo so kasa NDC for ani age
na
go say ba ne say no musu
obi kasa onye wrong ni nyina ne say mpanifo say oyo ofonsa na ohwe ode was ofonsa ni pansa say na asem nyina ne say de odi ya obi a ede wa nya ode no mfanya wunua nti in this case MPP for the feel say na omo waniema ba akumienu bi omo susu say e wa send this for ni nyina ma omo ko parliament na MPP nya majority no na omo dey approve one tax waivers no taxes bia na MPP for the person omo yi free companies bi so no eno ye one second another thing eno free senior high school bill no na MPP for the person omo approve that bill now MPP for the free say NDC for na your madwen say omani ate nti the MPP for the pen omo nya ma omo dia ene at this stage the NDC so pen omo so nya do it nti e ho na asem na amanfo e ka no e bebem say okay ene ete saade a e ma yemfo so boni nyina nkobo MPP for no NDC for no so aye boni ni bi nti eno de no kre but one point ni at the time afanyo markets so ye call break bia na otwere say government businesses no nti say na wonim say government businesses so ho dia na da bia wo call ya finally obi aba after say NDC for na ye omo mistake ya e kotia wo
finally aba
afanyo markets so da bia say government businesses yemra finally obi aba government businesses no way
say no wa lusu nti ono na lusu majority no nza o keka na be ofom ti aburo nti obo ba se ba se o mani ye ne o mani nyina na nya ndi
asem nyina no e o mani nyina
because sika e bedin from January to March no mo twentwen so ana kwa bibia o
nti e kire se from January next year to March no sikasem e wo mani man kase be kofom because a lot of sika be ka bank ya ye releasing ma system ni nti aho kire it is expected say e beba mo now right away from that
answer oral team no omo de foforo aba e trendy o
na sa nkrofo na no mpanifo no ma menka nsem mpanifo at the time a list ne buy no e no obi say list we say atemu dadru na ukọ na ese omo gira gate ba akọ a na wa hwe hu ye pa
oral na manfo ebi mu ntiase ne full meaning ne ye de be ya
oral ne full meaning operation recover all loot
na se omo ma diska e wa ban mu jiriko gwa koso no ye be chi omo nyina
che se ye yenchi omo na ye nyi ni nyina back enfamra na sa committee no omo start ye se ya pom ntuma wi a afedi omo hyase edi nkomon kakra wa bra mampani ni nyensu ayempo no omo start adwuma na on say before cross e be ko secret any info omo drop in so no nso omo de omo to free bi aba say unya any tip of any information bi say nipa we abaya dia kodi ne ho nipa we wawie sika wawie ka we yakɔ ha na wa frɛ sa number no e to free fra ye ntew credit o frɛ ya be kɔ straight nti ɛno yɛ 0800 900 111 na wa frɛ to free na fe wa drop info na ma mo
na sɛ 0800
yeah
900 111
ni nyina no mo nti after say omode om numbers nyina ba bonti wie no and omu prove actually say ampa omahye adwuma ase na omanya clear evidence actually say amanfo e the ghost names abokro no na omasem omo kani oral team ne say omanya documents edi advance edi ni nyina wo so actually say national service amanfo e the nsamanfo di ahye so a omo agi sika 500 million Ghana cedis a consamanfo ho inti nkrata ni nyina ba bedi oral team ne ho
na Ghana card na de ni Ghana bi mana
wo Ghana card yasemi unse asemwe oka obepa asema
se ba omi ase Ghana card no abe clear ghost names ni nyina fi ho
Dr. Mahmoud Bama se Ghana card yi ghost names bi afronti omo de nsamaidi gi sika wo man di eni hobiem now finally Akuffo say amanfo da so the ghost names egisika national service honom nkoa no national service honkoa 500 million Ghana cedis and ye twaman samanfo in this honkoa 500 million Ghana cedis bisa ho say they can say na ekọ nti you ask yourself national service keke no na other sectors ne so nti o ma start adwuma o mo ebo adwuma pa and ye hwa ni mu se de esia starti ebe ko sa to make sure say at the end be very successful
sir omutimi adwuma say dia na omoye say ya na omutimi chinkrofo bi na chese de wawia de omo gia ma oman no omoye say ya
of course
Ghana fo ani beji omo
and
the omantimi amenso a Ghana fo bubefu omo pa
eno de true be told Ghana fo bubefu omo pa na the most interesting thing sanye say e ba sa na amanfo ka say obsna doe e ho pa na e wo say
omone kwose se ebi so a ase aye aisha no starting sa omoye so omode ne kwose ba bi a ebe create confusion bebre di omunya botre
eno de eno crep
ena bi so a ote ekire eye adwuma ma omo
eno de e very important
ebe good se obehye ekire aye adwuma ma omo danse ebe bo ni didi aka
obe yi ni hwani ma be gira bonde se oye member
se sie
accepted pa
wo se ono no kowram sa no a
ebe ha
ne ho be ye hia chen okuje tomu
ne ho be ye ena minim se a lot of information information ne hia enye ni padua no nti say de bia o ka say information a lot of documents no documents no say o present to mpanyefo na obo mo with any type of bia wo
ebetimi aye say otachi but ono mo gia ketua pe
asem ni
nyina yemfa ne saa
na oral team no omo say akatua sema o kai na elsem di wetwam na eno no asem o mo ka nyina ne say oral team no team a omo nya ketua omo nye allowances omo nye hwe
ba meto omo ka
but asem no nyina no because Kenoforiata obe finance minister no o ka che say onya ketua esi etua ne ka o so wompe
jewie no ateka
na wateka right away from that right away sha ye to aba wie yi say electoral commission any parliamentary resource ne de akwaya bibie a ewo ho
akwaya bibie
na latest nsema e ba bonten ya obia enim dada enya asem foforo recollection ananka ye kwa akoye wo Tesano police training school ho a ekofa nsem ba ye nam so ma NDC mpanifo ni bitam asem no ekopie mu high court say omontia se emma recollection no enya adwuma na eno achi ena court no abu asem ne se NDC entimi enstop se omoma recollection no enya adwuma nti electoral commission enko na onsan kwa recollect resource no foforo biem na do omdi nkan ye no eno de enya de a eye adwuma na eba sa no ama NDC for no so omadwa live
electoral commission ase ensem ono because 2020 say ya na ye
say
ama figures no ye nya ni nyina
president
2024 so e person esan repeat nti eba ne say
na we no according to nkomodie no constituencies makoma 12 and as I say electoral commission say asemo ho na at the time o declare presidential results no kaya o ka say 9 constituencies after the every 9 akoko do 12 constituencies and asemo ho na 12 na asemo ho no and electoral commission for no echemu say omo pese omo sign equality ni biem omo sese aban foforo biem esan se omo susu se baabi ho a basa ko so na baabi ho nso a electoral officer na say returning officers no enye omo pe na omo declare results no nti je se omo sign ekenkan na omo recollecti aban biem na eba sa no especially Ablekumanov and Rabna Obin NDC or no ono de no the first one and Tema Central nti we the main two constituencies here electoral commission ebedin kan aye recollection e wo Accra Tesano police training school ho na omudua na de ka nyina to aso but eno no meeting komobi say omo the military and e be ko ho
o sa we say no NDC for no omo say omo na awe ni aba no but MPP for no pese isi pese o chinchim omo nsa ejima MPP anya say nim guase aba e wo MPP afam but NDC for say omo ntiase
omo ntiase say ese du nketi akra de nso koka say omo ne electoral commission ni asembia e na ono onsoma obi a collation center ho say ko police training school ko collect results nti ono de wawe ne
electoral commission we amanfo boni didodo onye careful.
But mama no true be told. Say me no after election we say bibia to twa.
On step it
down. Because baby ade ne kono. Say ni mo antimi wa etete won toma. Edimbo no edoso ndodo.
Esia na amanfo kaya ferijan.
Yeah, eno de no krepa because experience is the best teacher. Aferijan ono kra na that time Ghana fonti democracy asibebribi no. Mse na onya niema smooth e chen enei Madam Jemensa
ena me hunu se ma no so wo se Charlotte sese so that time pressure ban so
no ye mistakes
ena Jemensa so nti kayemfa mema nye mema na be bo asema no
me ne o ya adwen e wo mu se ye kada bia se ye ma a lot of opportunities but no kra na nyamenim ni ye wo sectors be any role bi ho a oba a player e ya na e ha adwen kakra no disrespect but say edru ba bia ye consider
we no pressure wo
pressure wo mpa
okay
ti we electoral commission nkomo
abi tnase na enko quick one and say ECG for mo ha adwen pa you know obende yes abi tnase na enko yes abi na mo kore
sinama nyame adu me ho de papa
ane de wo nya de say ensem no do so minim de wo befa
sinama ma menchi ahwefo
obetia
na me nko me papa Alan ene Mahama
nukre
Mahama wa ba so woni me ane manage age no don't na me shetin sheti say dia me hwehwa wo makoma so no ana manya ne
ede be na hwehwa wonya
na me hwehwa say Mahama ebai na nko onfra Alan no mu chia no mu trans no mu mbo o man no man tumpon ene nyame ya dum ya da sori a Mahama say Alan bla no mu mieni akohia be so mu dwenu o man nko so ano amane my happy
why dey
my happy
mani
aji o mabrabo
asemu
ati nyame nso nhia Mahama so wa ye makoma so ade amame because enkofo na o mo say Alan ni vision Alan antimi muo no Mahama tnasi hu sa Alan wo vision dia na ne wotumi afra Alan na Alan ni se hunu ade akoto na nim dia they say 100% Namishra Mahama afa Ghana yeye Ghana tumpon yes businessman versus obi a wonim tie omumie ni kaboma na say afa na why uwo player wo team wanya Messi wanya Ronaldo wanya Mbappe wanya Vinicius Junior eka ho asa kofa Brazil player ye Neymar wasanya Neymar kan wo wie
afa
se Mahama player Messi na wanya Alan Ronaldo wanya Vinicius Junior
afa no
Mahama running mate na wakofa host adoy asa aka ho a owie wo match na wie bibia ya 100% tisi Mahama mambo ready obabu ni fanchum bibia ni ho onso na wanya mindie former president Akuffo onya Alan ama ne mamu okoso na nadu nya Alan ama ne mamu okoso ena Mahama so akotudu nsine adepane free MP modia naba aye 100%
na nadu nya Alan ema na mamu okoso na nadu nya Alan na mamu ankoso
ti mama nchira wade one day one factor ye hoya
Alan
ayam nanado ni trim ne eden abro no odi ye ti Alan manya ni monyam abedi MPP anim ti na odi one day so nya Alan Alan ne creating the baby. Say be me come say senior high school Alan was there be. Ayo no anti Mahama timi aya me ni age ama Mahama pa. So what me na Alan the onfan ka ho. Na yem ko yenim. Na Ghana fo wu say. Sabi o Alan wonye nipa wofo. Dabi. Won dia botimabo. Na emo Babylon for be. Abayfo be. Ade say for be. Te say MPP. And o ma say o mo mpa yi. Anti anisi fo anya wo mo so mo yie. Na mo mabura obetima nya adwuma ye wo man no. Nti Alande me animani jachi no.
Na se odi akoka hu ya mo be ya adwuma yi MPP e be ye ni.
Say ye de Ghana ne ye pe no yi. Say MPP be gu a ye de ye fa ho be. Say enye ye de ye fa ho be. Ye de ye for your person Ghana and Koso. Same dollar above from 5 cities. But above from 10 cities. Bibi above from Nye Ghana ni aje. Na say MPP baba na dollar 22 cities there. Mfaso be no.
Mfaso ni so.
The mfaso bi no sinte wo say ye bompa ma NDC. Omamo buo no na ala na ka na nyeye. Hwe.
Ana sema na manfo kansa na no kro. Sana no ye adwuma Mahama bone pa ise ni nyina no kure.
Na ndayo nya MPP for ne ka say ya bodam na akwa NDC. And ye to wi ya akwa NDC we de say nya asem. Omo say ya bodam na akwa NDC o. MPP ne wa bodam no wo free MPP a akwa NDC. Nti ye pe. Nti ala ye campaign Mahama anye nwanwa ma nya nwanwa. Ko ma pam no mo se no suni vaso onko onye hwe nane mo sensu. Nyam na chom ka. Musio wa musio every voice show mo yam se show mo and o ma start so mo pa chom on so e fada o mo start say Alan Sambla on so wi ase ye tumfo a montie Alan Sambla o ma ye mo de na mo sanguna any fo anya anu na Alan tena ho a ne mfa woni
bi so gasa o so say ne transformational plan ne me wom no de ko mama hama no mu nyina boa ma mu na ko
ano obi boa bi anya no ano se wo boa na nti wo pa che se ba onya ne wi ni enko ba fra Alan
menye sure
o friend that because onya ni nyina kata
na se ba onya wi ni kwa nka Alan menye sure se Alan de be kwa koka no
yes
na hu se de entia
because o mu ni vision
sa
Alan go vision ope ade ba boa Ghana Enti o atena se wo se Mahama wo vision. Enti o di vision ne koka vision so. Enti abaye vision to vision.
Okay.
Enti ala wo ni vision na of ba nya ni vision na ala di vision koka enye. Enti o friend onko.
Okay.
Enti ba nya Mahama wo vision. Mahama ya ka president on. Mahama wo vision papa.
Sa.
Ni niema wo strategy to form me di madi clear. Uyi ni vision half crown to say na 8 years.
Sir.
Na there no oba oye. SS free and so enye akondem. And the Ghana ye bre. And name anti Mahama vision Alan do kokan ho 100%. Like na woni metini sa na me kale Alan. Na meti Mahama adia kan ho. Sinema Ghana ya wi.
Ebe
Ghana ye.
Sir.
Ghana ye. Atamfo ye omu ye pa. Omu ko soro omu baba fom serious American Mr. to say me tie alankas na me abofra yes alankas and many aba to samle na me so me study papa di papa na chiachi anontina ofre people na me kodi na chi onya bibio mo busa alanse wo humida o share yada o share the brother mi dada
na I hope si mu nyina nso kobi o na hope si se no ya adwuma ma NDC
na ayebone MPP for say hosting nimfa so na hosting kra no mumbusa MPP for say hosting boy ado ye omude
anya omuhwe
wan carry Alan asam keke o ono ko kana say yan giri film no mayi na free and the for fan anu was player o bobo pa wo so mpe no o ko pa de wasan na de na ba na player no timbi say o so mfa so mamia okwa anu no enti Ala o stado kwa ndi o ye campaign man this mi hu me bone we as yes ba bia wo sum wo bakwa wo sum badwo hona wo so wo ko nko ba bia da bia he wo enti NDC ni agin no wo ye campaign na ho stand nya NDC nko na no ye campaign ma mo o ye campaign ma o ma konkuru Ghana
na man forecast mbi se na no basintali kware batu dwa se NDC ya se o se unimade ne yenko a ombemu aye but Alan wo MPP no mo man kwan o mo man chance
ayesa MPP no mo de di boni
sa
se nyono no ka so mo di bomb keto anema kete ko man
me ka Alan
asaye no kwe MPP mu de wo ho na nimade ya na mpanifo na edi anim no omo pese omo kata oso na omo ba ye chen ebili na do o kata Alan no so osane osafa so aba Alan so Mahama tina se Mahama kura onya MPP no ono ma nante kura wate ya so huse bibi wo papa ne mu nti wo so fa papa na ben no for the futuo ne ne ma aka ho ebebu an this part no aye Ghana na ebebu onya
amon for kura se o man position
yes unim o man position ha abetuma onfa business baby aye dwadie
trade minister
any bibia inshallah so Mahama banyan 100%.
Okay amon for kase kama nanado teso Alan enya position nti no ase nanado niema nkoye sa nti adentina Mahama emma Alan position obetimi ayana
mame musa asem se me ba me kasa wa mama kwan kasa obi be de no waji
obi anti
se ma ba betre so wa mama kwan se me mfro a me kasa o se de bi
okay
be de me mfro
no kre
anti Alan no na no mane kwan
sa
o se de bi me ma kwan na ye aduma na ye ba hu wate me
wote no he
yenti se omkoze sa ne books in na free in the office
omkoze sa ne
bu na ya otro ne list ni na yi na books na ene ne pen na free office yanti na Alan dia mesinya mesuro wonu mo say Alan pan te se na na do kan samo dia ba bontene no anti ye man kwan
sa
ye malan kwan o pipi ni bia o ye MPP pa papa ni se Alan ya man kwan se onye ye di adine ne keke se ya man office na Alan ti ho ye di bo nya na akotra ho ena o ye ne matantanta na o se sana kwanta fo akogu ho anti nya Alan di fo opie ni se Alan di oyenipa onye sisifo oyenipa onye nyaatwom
mpa
he se Alan nya nyaatwom kan pipi party wa gunu kra
obedegu
anema sisi o party ni mu ana obi a wodi party na chi ba pem sanka woni misam nkode baba kwate no eso stay wakata so won kwan MPP for the fan anti Alan obi a man anti Mahama tena so hu se na se Mahama so nso
nokure
Mahama oni ogonimdie odi na abi no so atofum ahu se Alan de bibi papa woni mu o hu se Alan de ne ma papa woni anti mafan aka mo ho dia onye mistake anti wo ba se Mahama betina aka se Alan de wanti na nya bibi papa wo MPP mu anti me sa akofa no aka mo ne wasa ba se me mamu Mahama nye sa de ne da onye mistake sa da wo se papa ne bi papa woni mu na Ghana for nim sabi na se Ghana for na first bawnya ne Alan no se amufo Alan bina bawnya tena 8 years akunya o se Ghana no ye mate o twantro ko ha wo tena 8 years run mate 8 years o se wanya aduma nye wona na ate nti Alan so ntimi nya sa do Alan o se wa ba bonte da ka se na na do ba me ana ma wanye wakata so o ye din na o hwe o mo eso mo ani sa ton Alan wa bonte ne ese Alan pese Ghana fo hu Alan aso nyame anya kanfo da
okay
ane ene nyame atuam ka o ma we puto o ma we ti sa kokoti o ma we ende Alan de obi ka sen na MPP aban we na do aban we ma Alan ayi na ya hwe former president Akuffo de bi o ka sa asem ni o koduru ba bi o Alan mamu send obu o man no 75% afili Alan and decide people who should ma was so should me nti Mahama so who say 75% former president Akuffo for the island there obeko kofa no anya 75% anya 150 no obetuma bu o man no anya 150% o man no obetuma bu nti island ha obedi mistake bia nya na no mistake bia nya na MPP mpanfo na nado apro ne baye ene wo ma MPP agunu na nado agu MPP a party wa yene kontem wa bubu no sese
ente se mu nyina mbedi se Alan be kwa mbedi na ji
nanka men kwa Alan na kwa men kwa Alan na minim se o vision minsa men kwa medina chi oko owura jem kwa medina chi
sa
owura bunsam jem kwa me medi Alan na chi
enkasa
da bi so ba bi oko bia wo se medina chi ya so do bia
enti Alan ekodane oko odene ntuma ko bo ndizifo ano na ono mu ye adwuma no man ko so anso obekọ bi sa
en ko so dia me nya bamno me nya nyato ma ye
oba be fire o
baba fire mo ento mu adwuma na ye dia se o nsa no o mo nye ne pepepe
na se ala ne Mahama kabom dia hwan pipi be go omeko be how many years
dabi en kasa be go agudada
omeko how many years
minka keto 53 years
eh
53 omo na sesi agu omo gunu omo na kambo msini agu kura dada
kafra
na juma ne starte na nima starte na nima koya Allah ye dollar ti eba fom otu aba fom dum so ajai eish ajodi fo ko fa nima ba awon gala be ka ba ko ye nje mu 1.2 billion na ba be 200 million asa ade wa woni de anu na ye he won wie ajodi fo yo mi se wo kura wa kilo mo wo buo mo
sa
omo fodi cash fula bi kire ba omo tua 90
omo ka fi
abriche eba Ghana omo tua 500 million no omo ko tua 90 million no na cheseta
omo fi fa yi
abriche ba US German
oni abriche
omo de German na yimu na de ba ka duty boarding na Mahama ba teso kura e bi omo de ba 200 million pe let's say omo banya 700 million faso boom we onya oni baji nti Mahama wotimi ye we ma wo wi omo wa kilo mo wa ko makasa yanyi system ne nye wo bata ko nyi san yanko 8 years 4 years no wo ma shiagu ti Mahama nzan ko 8 years say one we be sisa because we say
I want to say Alan betimi aboa no
oh 100%
sa
me
Mahama ya suti Alana
obaboa no 100%
ya sempa
Alan susu de obra no ho ase said the Mahama bra omo mienu ya phrase ahobra Joseph for me na kwashia enti sa na betie ebeko joso me so me pompa ya ma omo mienu ba ebeko so
I parliament yenye na yen rap ya pe na MB before no play stubborn omo mpese omo beba o ti ama eniema aka chi o
na nya omo ena na omo se NDC for mla parliament anya omo
hwam
nya MB before
da bi se NDC for there no omo ba parliament but MB before na omo ba na omo sanko
omo na MB before na ba
and okay se na MB before there no omo se papa na mfrem ensam president speaker
and
abambamen
friend meeting
because adwuma bebre wo ho a wo so mo ye
nti se adwuma ne ni ho adwuma ne ni ho
se de o ma lusu na se sia no omo apa han omo na edai majority enche o ba be de minority nti o se ai finance minister de budget ne ba
ana me bu se
finance minister no ma
and se adwuma ne ni ho biem nti omo ma
e wo ho
wasi MP before omo ye Babylon Ghana for yen kan kore na do no na aban wi wo Ghana say ya say ya to aba ya wie ya de atwom montre se mon fan konta mra mon faska mra na endro ayi ni yenyeska aduma ye fo nyeska mo se da bi wo ma
na se time na mo so pese o mo ba ye bibia na ndizifo nso akotena o mo da bere
na sa na ye mra we de mafum ebia fum 2020 ana mo yi mo frum ana Ghana mra se de o ye dom dodo no se wo so ni patia ya ma wo ba ye dom ketwa ana e da ho ono no bia ya nyanya nditi 442 aye mra na ne da ho na re yo si wo free party e ko kontenkura mra ma kwa se nyum film ana mra ma kwa ana ye muso ate ana nditi 4 do so cha nya nditi 4 na wo se mo ya dom kase ye si ye som nyame ya yen kan na app 4 we ade o mo ha Ghana mo ahia ho abedu mra bi ye nto aba ma mo kura piem de o mo ye
mo gafra
na se na
4 years na be so yen hwa de
ebeso
ebeso na NDC amesi ne ma apa obere
ti we yen ka we enche 7 December baduru 7 January de o mo ye ina ebedu 7 January na ma ye mobo enti sanre fa skane bla na ndro hokra ne munye din
so mo de banso a NDC fo na de beju mu din
Ghana fo na
NDC
skane ye NDC fo de
Dabi
Ghana for de ene Ghana for ye se yemfantwe Ghana for nti wo dwene se wo NDC de baduru dia na wo ye befo wo ye wo di abro we ya na wo complain se yen koso ama munye ska ntwa adwuma ye fo ka na sa mbisa adwuma yefo kwa mumfa mmra fabra nyamfa mboa ma o man mpuntu a wa na say
okay
mawe a mawe nyewe o mawe a mawe mo pa mo nkoso mawe a mawe acha 70 zam na mba ma Mahama sika ama ni nyansa ama nkofo bo Mahama ma o ma oye
okay
adwuma yefo so o mani da ho say NDC MPP for ne di apro nya Mahama nya materials e mo mawe a mawe mo nyansa nhunu no
yanko amsa kakra bi ora team no ense o ma hwehwe mu akọ se ghost names no still ebi da so ho
sinama na nyenno na ba unya se odi gara kada ba yi afiri so
no great
na gara kada ba yi afiri so still yanya nsamfo di wo ma o je akatua na ba unya de ba unya what ni din yes ba unya you are liar tie sami mo we eno tin ya to abama and this is said na Mahama meye side man mai nse Mahama so wanya de weba na wanya gara for you to about you because I don't say yet me just some
we say on to two man okay
why krono but we so the Ghana card adi ababa yin some for the afri no correct yeah that's why I say some for stay at your moka akodi ba munya botum nti saba munya wose ye chen Ghana mla was ye jina so go wada daye wo so the Ghana card ye yenchin anti Mahama ba wa bai ye ni bra bre Mahama chicho o mama wies nyina o mama diske nyina chomo anyesa 4 years time hala kan ya di NDC for so ba faso wo ma ne wi se mu nyina mu dadaye Mahama ye waduma ye waduma chicho mo enfa damfu bia yi wani so fa damfu adamfu ba ye o de chen aduma no Chomo, Samia,
me father for bit sala na.
That yes, Adam for Nassas. Adam for our Wieska. Our ordinary Basisho, we are no Hobay Mahama Yevida. Samia, Mama, so also my disca, Chimitum. Me what after summer disca, our Ganaska, Chimitum. Senanadwa, Chimitum, Bona, Chinitum, Chamutum, Chomu Yatum. I don't Ghana, you was Canaman for Bocronosa. What me the Ghana card? Dada say wo dia yi nsamfo din na ye da so na Ghana card say ye tua Ghana nsamfo a na say de o ka asasam no onim ho bi ye hwehwem Mahama say ma ba nya on so nche Ghana mla sa me na edi mi adenti na on tumi nchemi na ba nya adi no mu nche Mahama chiro so wan chiro a
okay
4 more time you and this out to Ghana Silos 4 more time and it's out to Ghana. Young mama baby. So when they said Mahama,
so master Tomo Yajma is a could you top black Kwamaku winner.
So mo ya person ya logo must say. Na Hong Kong, ya kwa jackpot 10 years. Kwa jam 10 years. Near the Joe Gap or Jeopardy in any of the amount of money for Suabasu. Okay. Yeah, the hostess a teacher for no more than. Okay. About woman, no more money to me.
Baba Shafa bi gije na etene kana ha brata bi ye ko be sa be biem yakra ifo nyina